So other ideas for reparations. So let's go even lower on the bare minimum with reparations. And here are a few basic ideas that would help alleviate some of the societal problems Black people are facing in America. Now, you have the idea of deleting debt for American descendants of enslaved people. The school grants would be a good idea. Family rehabilitation services, free mental health benefits, free health benefits in general, living wage, stipend to cover average income of American family. There could be work, related obligations related to that. Again, these are ideas. Benefits for married Black families, that would be good to incentivize family. Tax-free land that no one is using. A free car under 25 to 50,000 with all expenses paid into that person's passes. An entrepreneurial stipend to start a business and sustain it. Remember, a lot of people who, and the reason why I have that idea is because for centuries, we were not able to, start our own, businesses in some ways. Some people were able to do it in pockets here and there. Entrepreneurial stipend to start a business and sustain it. Job opportunities and on-job training that can lead to a job. No guessing if you're going to get the job or not. There are jobs on the lower end of the scale that will allow you to work. You can come in for an interview, but at the same time, these jobs don't really, some of them don't pay much and don't offer much. Free pre-college preparation, if your college of choice does not allow you in, you can get some type of preparatory work to help you with things that you need to work on, whether, whatever those things could be. Emergency stipend for those who are facing hardships and can improve it. These are all things that can be done. Okay, and nowhere do I say, we need to tax people to those, we need to tax the living hell out of people who did not enslave anyone or whatnot. Okay, so when people come on this page and they speak from a place of ignorance, you will be deleted and blocked, unfortunately, because that's a place of ignorance, and I'm not going to tolerate it at all. I have a zero tolerance policy on ignorance on this page. So who will pay? William Darity, Kristen Mullen, authors of From Here to Equality, mentioned the following on reparations for Black American descendants of slaves. And this is their report that they did, an interview. And it's a good report. You can definitely check it out and then come back to this video if you'd like. We're going to continue on. So the first one is the government. Slavery was a major issue in the United States for many years. The government's involvement in this practice was significant. The very beginning of the nation's history, the federal government played a role in the slave trade, and it was not until the passage of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution in 1865 that slavery was officially abolished. Okay, so that was officially abolished, but of course there were people who let go of their slaves, and a lot of them had to come back. So it was still something that was going on. Okay. And when we say the government should pay it back, again, William Darity mentioned baby bonds as something else that can be done that would, first of all, benefit all Americans. He's an economist, so again, for me, reparations for many Black Americans, reparations would be a good thing in terms of making it a win-win situation, right? A lot of people, what I'm noticing about these people on the internet that have these arguments that come in on my page, again, is, they want to come in and speak on this issue from a position of, you want to make me pay for these things and whatnot, but you're coming from a place of defense. You're not giving any solutions at all. You're not saying anything about what you would do then if your argument is against what I'm saying. You're not even saying, okay, well, what is an alternative then? That's how I know you really don't care about Black people in this country, and you definitely don't care about Black people who are descendants of slaves. You have no care in your heart, So like I said, that's why I will delete and block you. Okay, so you can come in here playing those games. Again, I'm going to delete and block you. You're going to be gone so fast that before you even can click the submit button, you're gone. However, even after the abolition of slavery, the government continued to support discrimination against African Americans through such laws as Jim Crow laws and segregation policies. As historian Eric Fauner notes, the government played a major role in creating, supporting, and perpetrating slavery, and then creating, supporting, and perpetrating its successors. Racial segregation and discrimination. And that's Fauner 2010 is that citation. The citation underscores the government's active involvement in perpetrating the system of slavery and ongoing impact it had on the lives of African Americans in the United States. Did black codes exist? We're going to talk about the black codes. So the black codes, also known as the black laws, was a set of laws regulating African Americans' behaviors and rights, including those who were free or who had been freed. In 1832, James Kent noted a clear distinction in political privileges between free white individuals and free people of African descent in most parts of the United States. And that's Adam 2022. African Americans did not have equal participation in civil and political rights compared to white individuals in any region of the country. While black codes existed before the Civil War and were present in some northern states, southern states implemented and formalized these laws as part of the daily practice. The most well-known black codes were enacted by southern states in 1865 and 1866 following the Civil War. No limit to the freedom of African Americans and forced them to work for minimal or no wages. One can argue that black codes never ended, with black Americans being disproportionately pulled over by the police and imprisoned. Okay, that's something that happens in the modern era. We want to talk about modern things that happen. We still have an incarceration problem. We still have, these drugs and drug charges that a lot of our people maybe sold weed or something like that, gotten a charge. And those areas now, I think in places like Detroit, that is now legal. So why not take those people out and add all of this money to the economy? That's what could be done. That's a form of reparations, right? Now that it's becoming more legal. When you see these police lights flash behind you, most people have the same reaction of pulling over and waiting for the officer, right? When you see the police's lights flash. However, what happens next can be a different experience for everyone. According to Kelsey Shub, an assistant professor of political science at the University of South Carolina and one of the authors of the book called Suspect Citizens, what 20 million traffic stops tell us about policing and race. Okay, so this is a good study. Okay, and we want to talk about the traumas of being pulled over and treated like an animal. I think about Leonard Cure. I was specifically, kmtcminds was yelled at the top of that officer's lungs, was yelling at me as I was trying to go to work. He responded very aggressive. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. He didn't treat me like a human being. Okay. And that's the same way they treated Leonard Cure, a black man who was exonerated after doing 16 years. And, I'm not going to condone his actions, his reaction. He did comply with the officer first. The escalation was initiated by the officer. However, then the officer did self-defense. So I'm never going to agree with escalating a situation to give a reasonable suspicion of a crime committed.